Page 6, Festive March. It's a march because it says so, huh? In this lesson, they're talking about more extended positions, the right hand extended position, because the fingering in the left hand is a little bit different. The right hand, an extended position, any chord can be extended. We did the C chord, and we just moved it, duplicate it, or double it, or whatever, add it, so you get 4 notes. Well, with the G chord here, so instead of here, you're just extending out. It's the same fingering as the C chord, except it's a G chord. It could be anywhere. I don't know where it's at. Don't care. Whatever the music says. And then, of course, the D chord, because we got D major. The D chord is here, but if I put this on top, it's this. Again, it's the same fingering. We just got the F sharp. Don't make a big deal out of it. All we're doing is just you're going to find these chords in music. I'll review the primary chords in G. Remember the 4 chord, we'll just go up 2. And then for the 5/7, the lower goes down a half a step and use the top 2. Remember the C chord was that? What G chord is that? These new 2 notes just go up. And then the 5/7, this goes down and use 2. Here, because it only goes down a half step. Well, D chord, same thing. Here. 5/7 down a half step. The primary chords? Okay. You're going to get them quite a bit. Let's talk this march thing, because this thing kind of looks ugly. So let's see what we're getting into. I just trust the process that I use to learn a piece of music and let it take me through it. I look it over. It's about a page and a half long, or a little less. It's longer than that because repeat signs and so forth, but there's only about a page and a half or a little less of music to learn. Okay. Treble bass clef. This has 1 sharp in the key signature to start, so we're in the key of G major, so make sure you can do the scale for G major. However, if you look at the end of the second line on page 7, you see 2 sharps. They're changing key signatures, so the last 2 lines on page 7 are actually in D major. Go do the scale on D major, that's fine too. Normally when I do the scale, I just do the one at the beginning, G. And I don't worry about the others because I know I'll get those other scales when I do songs or pieces in those keys. However, you can go ahead and do that scale now too if you want to. I don't know how much you'll enjoy scales. And then 2 4-time signatures. There's only 2 counts in a measure, and the 8th notes 1 and 2 in. 1 hand at a time. See what we're getting into. If you look at all the notes in the first line, the G, next one you have a B, a couple of them, and the next one you have a D, and then finally at the end you have a G. That is the G chord in extended position. Now there are other fingerings we can do for this kind of pattern, but they want you to get the extended position, so we're going to use that fingering. So it's here, you're here, and I don't stay there. I'll come up as I need it. I don't stay in this position. Because when you do this, you're introducing tension. We don't want tension. You can feel it in the arm when you do that. It gets tense. No, we don't want that any more than we have to. So here, I'm just staying here for now. And then I'll come up. Now here, see, I've already moved up. Here. And I've collapsed already. So 1 and 2 and 1 and now second line 1 and 2. Okay, that takes us over to page 7, the 3rd line down. We're ending the 2nd line here. During the rest, we're going to come down here to this position, and basically it's the same thing now, it's extended position, because if you look at those notes in that line, at least the first few measures, that's what it is. So it's 1 and 2. And it claps. 1 and 2. So forth. That's all it is. It looks ugly, but when you actually start looking at it's just broken chords. Okay, then it's not quite so ugly. Left hand, well, they have block chords. We have a G chord, and that thing's tight forever. You see that all the way across? You just hold it down for the whole line, and the next line you get a 4 chord. That go to page 7, second line. 4 chord, 1 chord, 5/7 chord, 1 chord. Okay. And then for the third line, you're down here with a 1 chord in D major. And that's tied forever until you get to the 4 chord. Using the primary chords. Well, put this mess together. Let's see what we get. It's here. Just hold the left hand down. Now, going on now, a 4 chord, the left hand. That note's by itself. Get the idea. Now, when you get to the end, about on page 7, the second ending, you're here. The DC is going to send you back to the beginning. You got to be here. So you got to move. Both hands. You got 1 beat of rest to do it in. And you can do both hands at the same time if you want. You're going from. Or if you can do it quickly, you can do it 1 hand at a time. Top hand first. Here, here, like that. You have to look down at the keyboard for it, of course. And you can't mess up the beat because you're moving. So you may have to practice that. Just somehow get up there in time. It's sort of like at the end of the second line here. 1 beat rest to come down. Same thing. That's fine. We could alter the fingering in the right hand so it makes it a little easier for you so you're not moving both hands. But we need the practice at this, moving both hands like this, and you're not going far. So, yeah, I encourage you to go ahead and do it in this case. So I go through and I'll put the hands together. Then I'll go through it maybe a line or so at a time and I get rid of the hesitations. Keep it slow, but no hesitations. A steady beat. If it's a march, you're going to march to it, and it's got to be a steady beat or they'll trip all over. No, that doesn't work. Then the articulation, and this is fairly connected, but there's a few staccatos. I'll connect this first line as much as I can. Then lift up. Staccato. And then the second line, second measure. Here. Separate those notes. It's not short. No, it's not as staccato. You just separate it. You could connect it, I suppose. Except if they wanted you to do that, they could draw the curved line all the way to the G. And they didn't, so I'm going to suggest you disconnect it. That's pretty much the articulation. I mean, the left hand, you just play it as best you can. You can't connect these chords, but pretend you can. Okay. Then the dynamics. Well, it applies to the melody, and that's the right hand. Forte is loud. This in the background. That's all right. Second line, not soft. Very soft. Loud. You get the idea? Okay. The dynamics, you're just going back and forth between loud and soft. Then the speed, joyfully. Think of people marching, and it's a happy occasion. Left, right, left, right, left. If you can't play it that fast accurately, that's okay. Slow it down. Play it accurately. As you get better and better, you will, I hope, go back through these books just for fun and play through the pieces just for fun. I do. Why not? You'll play them better and faster then. So whatever you can do this, whatever you can do that accurately, that's going to be your speed, I'm guessing. Now, on top of all that, they've added pedal. Again, why are we using pedal? What's it do? I like a clean melody still. I like that clean. Pedal's going to mess it up. So, what's going on? Well, one of the things that we use pedal for is kind of a special effect type thing. So when we blend this first line all together, and then in the next line, all of a sudden, real soft, the pedal helps to make it different. The louds is and then the soft is delicate. It makes it different. And in that sense, okay, I could take it. We can understand the pedal. Otherwise, I would say don't use pedal in this piece. But I think it's more of a special effect. So at the beginning, I'm going to push the notes down first and then the pedal. I'm going to lift the pedal with the hands because it's a new phrase. I get just a little silence. Again. And that's the way it's pedaled all the way through. Now let's see what's going on where do we go when. I call it the roadmap. Because in this piece, you're just not playing it start to finish and we're done. Thank you very much. No, there's a little more to it than that. If you look at the last two lines on page 7, there are repeat signs. On the third line, there's a reverse repeat sign. And the last line, there's endings. And the first ending has a repeat sign. That sends you back to the reverse repeat sign. So you're going to play that part again. And then you go to the second ending, there's a DC al fine. Oh, well, DC means go to the beginning. So we're going to go back to the beginning and go to fine. The fine is at the end of the second line. So we're going to go back and play all that again. So the thing is pretty much twice as long as it looks. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the pedaling and I'm not going to do the dynamics. We're not performing it. I'm just playing notes and rhythms, but we will do the repeat and the DC al fine thing also. There's 2 beats in a measure, so I'll give us 2 counts. Ready, go. And then we go. Ready and go and 1 and. 2 and. Rest. And 2 and. Rest. And 2 and. Repeat. And 2 and. Second ending. To the beginning. And 2 and. Rest and. And 2 and.